Hello students, welcome to Vijetha IAS Academy, and myself is Lenin and I am the faculty of Geography and Science and Technology in Vijetha IAS Academy, New Delhi. So in this video we are going to discuss about answer writing, especially with respect to science and technology. Okay, so especially in the mains, how to write a good answer, because see how many books you may refer, how many papers you may read without practicing any answer. It's very difficult to clear this exam, not just science and tech. Whatever the paper we have take, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, essay or optional papers, whatever the papers you take, okay, without practicing any answer, it's very difficult to clear this exam. Okay, so in this video I will discuss just how the structure of an answer will be there and what are the major things that we have to include in our mains answer. Is it clear? So this approach can be used for different papers also, but I'll just discuss the brief idea, especially with respect to science and tech answers. Is it clear? So knows, right? There is a proper structure for writing a mains answer, right? So there are majorly three things that we have to see in our mains answer, right? One, intro will be there. Second one, body will be there, and the last one is conclusion will be there, right? So in any answer, the major things which we have to see is introduction, body and conclusion. But remember, we should never ever mention as intro as side heading, body as side heading, or conclusion as side heading. Okay, remember, we should not mention these as side headings, but by reading your answer, the examiner should know, okay, this is his introduction, okay, this is his body, okay, this is his conclusion. Like that, examiner itself should understand your answer, like different parts he has to understand. Okay, you should never ever mention this is body, this is conclusion, or this is your intro, like that. Okay, so remember, that is the first step which we have to remember, because we never should write these as side headings, right? And the second thing which you have to remember for this one is there are different types of introductions. Okay, to write any good answer, okay, randomly we cannot write any answer. We cannot start randomly any answer, because when examiner reads your introduction, he should get a feel that, okay, this introduction is very good, so his answer might be very good, so it should excite him, right? So if he feels he should connect that question so that it will be easy for you to get good marks. Because if he is not connecting to whatever that thing you have wrote in your introduction, then the examiner will feel like, hey, this is a normal thing only he has wrote. Okay, so he should not get some excitement, right? So once if you make some excitement to the examiner, so that he will read your answer completely line by line, so that it will be easy for you to get a good marks, right? So introduction is very important, and there are different ways to write an introduction. For example, if I see introduction, we can start with the historical background. Okay, for example, if they have spoken about ISRO, okay, so they have asked about recent Chandrayaan mission, something they have asked, okay, but they also asked, please explain something about ISRO, something like that they have asked. Means we have to start from the basics, from the historical background, how ISRO has started, okay, so in which year they have started, what are the factors that has led to the establishment of ISRO, what are the institutions that are established before ISRO, and when ISRO has been formed. All these things we can write as a historical background, right? So historical background you can write, or you can start with some current affairs related to that question, okay, or we can start with some data, okay, or with respect to some report also, okay. So you can start with some historical background, current affairs, some statistics or data, all these things you can write, right? So with these things you can start your introduction, right? So after that, when we come to the body, okay, so body includes whatever the question they have asked, okay, because entire one big question is there, right? That entire big question can be divided into some sub components, okay, they will, and after that they will mention about something, okay, so each question can be divided into sub components, right? So whatever the sub components that are there in the question, those sub components have to be written in the body. And remember, each sub component should be written as a separate side heading. Remember, each sub component has to be written as a separate side heading, and under each side heading please write as different points. This is the second sub component, and write that second subcomponent and may put it in the box, and under that one write different points. Let us assume this is the third subcomponent that I have asked. So I have wrote this third subcomponent and I have made it as a box, and under that one please write as a point manner, right? So how many the subcomponents they have asked in the mains topic, please write as separate side headings, and please put those side headings in the box and then write as subpoints under that each side heading, right? So like that, whatever the main question that has been asked, everything should come in the body part. Okay, so there should be, if you see here, there should be clear delineation of different parts of the question, because here they are asking different subcomponents, right? So each and every subcomponents has to be differentiated and has to be written as a separate side heading, and under each side heading we have to write different points. Okay, so for each one, if possible, for each point try to write some example, because examiner sees every example, because the more examples, see, based on some toppers answers, if you see, they are writing a lot of examples. So the one who is writing more examples, especially the relevant examples, then you are going to get more marks compared to your competitor, right? So for every point, if possible, try to write some examples. Apart from this, try to write some diagrams also, draw some diagrams, especially see, if your answer is there, 15 marker is there. Okay, if you try to write from top to bottom, entire thing, if you start writing with only words without any diagram, then understand, see, if you are the examiner, just think like that, you are correcting a lot of question papers, right? On the day, a lot of answer sheets you are correcting, and if you see something, you have to read 150 words or 250 words. Okay, so entire thing words are there, it's very difficult for him to read, right? Because he is correcting a lot of questions on the day. So if you see from top to bottom, entire wordings are there and he has to read all the wordings, means he will become a bit irritated, right? So we have to make the life of examiner a bit easier. Okay, means we have to make his correction way easy. So for that one, if you start drawing some diagrams, okay, so if you can mention any subcomponent, whatever these different subcomponents are there, right? If you mention one subcomponent as a diagram or as a flow chart, okay, so your number of wordings will be reduced, and for examiner the appearance will look good for him, and also he no need to read entire thing, right? By seeing the diagram he can correct those things, right? So the life of examiner will become easy, and the appearance of your answer sheet will also good look. So these two things will favor half or 1 mark extra for you compared to your competitor. So if any 15 marker is there, so please write one component, at least one component as a flow chart or as a diagram, right? So there are different methods to draw diagram. See, if you see, this is very common thing, hub and spoke sort of things. Okay, for example, they have asked about advantages. Okay, advantages of artificial intelligence. Okay, so we can write in how it is helping in economy, how it is helping in health, okay, how it is helping in businesses, how it is helping in elections or political things. Like that we can draw a diagram. Okay, this is simplest diagram of all. Okay, like that you can draw a lot of diagrams will be there. Okay, so we can draw a lot of flow charts also. So if you can write something diagram in your body, then examiner will become very impressed, right? So apart from this diagram, flow charts you can write. Okay, so this will complete your body of your question. Okay, remember, body should include whatever the things, major things that are asked in your question, and each sub question can be written as a separate side heading, and each side heading has to be put in different boxes, and under that one each and every point has to be written. Under each and every point, please try to draw any diagram if possible based on your question length, and for each and every point please try to write some examples also. Is it clear? So this completes your body, and after that, for conclusion, try to write your conclusion in an optimistic manner, right? So don't try to write in a very extreme negative sense, okay, because that will show a negative sense of your mindset. So to write means to impress your examiner, please try to write a balanced conclusion, or if possible try to write a bit of positive sort of conclusion. Okay, either you have to write either balanced conclusion or a kind of conclusion, and if possible try to mention any reports or any committees or any, let us assume some World Bank has given some data or some report with respect to some development in India, so please mention those things. Okay, so any environmental committee is there, if they have mentioned some report and some data, please write those things. Okay, so like that, if you can write any committee names or committee recommendations or any reports, and those whatever you have written, just give your suggestions in a positive manner, then your conclusion will also be very, very good. Okay, so try to be either in a balanced way or show a little bit of towards positive side, then entire conclusion will look very, very good for you. And try to include these reports or committees, right? So this is your overall answer if you see. Okay, introduction, body, conclusion. Please remember, we should never put these as side headings, but in introduction itself, after seeing or after reading, examiner have to understand this is the introduction, this is the body, this is the conclusion. The way you have to write like that. And also introductions can be of different types, like historical background you can write, current affairs you can link, or static data you can write in the introduction, or in sometimes you can even write the definition also. Okay, definition, what is artificial intelligence, you can write what is artificial intelligence as a definition, and you can link with this current affairs, because you can sometimes add 2 of these or 3 of these in the same introduction, and we can write as a single introduction. Okay, so apart from that, in body, there we can divide the body into different sub-components based on your question, how many components they have asked in your question. Please divide those things into different components and write each sub-component as a separate side heading, and then write different points under each side heading and also examples. And if possible, try to write either one component as diagram or flowchart, so that the number of wordings will be reduced, and also the time taken for you to write this answer will also be reduced, because the number of minutes that for each and every question will be around 7 or 9 minutes based on 10 marker or 15 marker, right? So if you can draw any flowchart or any diagram, you can reduce at least half minute or 1 minute, right? So you can invest that half minute in second or other question, right? So that you can write in a good manner of the next question also. So if you can implement these things, then your answer will look bit better than your competitor, right? So in conclusion also, please try to write in a balanced way or a little bit of positive tilt. Okay, so including some reports or some committees you can write, and also you can quote the recommendations of those committees as your own recommendations also in the conclusion. Is it clear? I hope you got some idea with respect to how we can write a good mains answer. This approach is not just for SNT, you can use the same approach for different papers of our exam also, like GS1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the paper you can take, whatever the mains answer, you can follow the same approach. Is it clear? I think you got some basic idea how to write a good answer, right? Thank you students, I hope you have understood.